Welcome to Lab 12, Configuring Remote Management. Before we begin the lab, you'll need to start your virtual machines for Client B, a Windows 8.1 computer, and Client C, a Windows 8.1 computer. And the lab manual also would like you run Server A, the Windows Server 2012 R2 server. Depending on your system resources, you may or may not be able to complete the lab on your home computer if you have less than 8 gigs of RAM, because to run 3 virtual machines in 64-bit operating systems, each operating system is going to require 2 gigs of RAM. So that's 6 just for the virtual machines, and then your host will need another 2 gigs of RAM to work properly. So that's a total of 8 gigs. So if you have less than 8 gigs of RAM, you may only be able to complete the lab in the classroom. I'm going to try to complete the lab here without running Server A, since my computer only has 6 gigs of RAM, and we'll see how it goes. To have you log into Client B as the domain administrator. Go to the Start screen, type Control, the Control Panel window will appear. Click on the Control Panel. The Control Panel window appears. Click System and Security. Click System. And on the left-hand side, click Remote Settings. So the System Properties sheet is now appearing with the Remote tab selected. Leave the Allow Remote Assistance Connections to this computer checkbox selected. And in the Remote Desktop area, select the Allow Remote Desktop Connections to this computer. And then click Advanced. The Remote Assistance Settings dialog box appears. Make sure that the Allow this computer to be controlled remotely checkbox is selected. And then configure the maximum amount of time invitations can remain open to 24 hours. Click OK. Question 1. When using remote assistance, why might it be necessary to impose a time limit on the invitation? Click OK on the dialog box. It's the end of the exercise 11.1. Sorry, 12.1. Now we'll begin exercise 12.2, connecting to a remote workstation. Open Client C, log in as the domain administrator. Open the Start menu and type remote. And in the results list, click Remote Desktop Connection. Click the Show Options to expand the window. On the General tab in the computer text box, type Client B. And in the username, type the domain admin user, adatum/administrator. Select the Display tab. Set the display configuration slider to 800 by 600. Click the Local Resources tab. Clear the Printers checkbox. And click the More. The Local Devices and Resources dialog box appears. Select the Drives checkbox and then click OK. Click the Experience tab. From the Choose Your Connection Speed to Optimize Performance drop-down list, select LAN 10 megabytes or higher. Or megabits, sorry. click Connect. Select the Don't Ask Me again for this connection or connections to this computer checkbox and click Connect. Type the password for ADATEM Administrator account and click OK. Click Yes on the certificate warning. A Client B remote desktop connection window will appear, showing an image of the remote computer's desktop. It may take a little bit of time, being their virtual machines, but it will appear. Take a screenshot of the Client B remote desktop connection window by pressing Alt Print Screen and paste the results into the Lab 12 worksheet. In the Client B remote desktop connection window, mouse over the lower right corner of the window, and when the Charms bar appears, click Search. In the search box, type Notepad. Click the Notepad tile. The Notepad window appears. Question 2. On which computer is the Notepad program actually running? In the Notepad window, click File, Open. The Open Combo box appears. Question 3. When you browse the local disk C in the Open Combo box, which computer's C drive are you actually looking at? In the Open Combo box, select This PC container. And then scroll down to display the Client C disks. Take a screenshot of the Client B remote desktop connection window showing the Client C disks in the Open Combo window by pressing Alt Print Screen, and then paste the resulting image into the Lab 12 worksheet. Before you press the Alt Print Screen, you want to select the toolbar or the title bar of the remote desktop connection window to make it the active window. Then press the Alt Print Screen. That way you get the screenshot of the actual window. Question 4. Why is it possible to access the host's computer, that is, in the Client C computers, various drives, while working in the Client B remote desktop connection window? Click Cancel. Question 5. During a remote desktop session, what would happen if you opened the Network Connections window on the remote computer and configured the network adapter to use a different IP address? Explain the result. Close the Notepad window. Close the Client B remote desktop connection window. Click OK. End of exercise 12.2, excuse me. Exercise 12.3, using remote assistance. In this exercise, you will connect to another computer and control it from a remote location. On the Client C computer, right-click the Start button. And on the context menu, select Control Panel. The Control Panel window should appear. Click System and Security. Select Action Center. Troubleshooting. And select Get Help from a Friend. The Use Remote Assistance to Contact Someone You Trust for Help page will then appear. Click Invite Someone to Help You. The Windows Remote Assistance wizard appears, displaying the How do you want to invite your trusted helper. Click Save this invitation as a file. Now, through the magic of video editing, we can proceed with the next step. What you didn't see me actually do was pause my Client B computer and start my Windows server so that I can actually do the next step, which is save the invitation file. So we're going to browse to our server, server A, downloads, and save the file using the name invitation. It's already called invitation, so we'll click save. Now take a screenshot of the Give Your Helper the Invitation file and password page showing the password by pressing the Alt Print screen and pasting the resulting image into the Lab 12 worksheet. So back on our Client B computer, we're going to browse to server A. Go to the Downloads folder, and the instructions have you actually double click on it here, but I'm going to copy it to the desktop since I'll have to pause my server for the way that I have it. In the classroom, you'll be able to just double click that if you have all three virtual machines running simultaneously. So now we've got our invitation file. Double click it. The remote assistance will now prompt for the password and enter the password text box. In the enter password text box, type the password shown on the screen you captured earlier and click OK. On the Client C, in the Would you like to allow administrator to connect to your computer dialog box, click Yes. And then back on Client B, Windows Remote Assistance Helping Administrator window appears, containing an image of the Client C desktop. So the window you're now seeing is actually the Client C desktop on being viewed from the Client B virtual machine. On Client B, take a screenshot of the Windows Remote Assistance Helping Administrator window by pressing Alt Print Screen, and then paste the resulting image into the Lab 12 worksheet. Then end of the exercise 12.3. The lab challenge will not be graded. You can try it if you want to. I'll leave that to you. It's not going to be part of the video.